Welcome to the Witchy Work Wishes podcast, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. Welcome to Witchy Work Wishes, and welcome to the last episode of 2024. It's been a magical year for sure, and today, well, it just wraps it all up with the topic of shadow work and the beautiful black moon, December black moon, that we'll be having on the 30th. It really is the perfect way to wind things down for our calendar year, talking about how we can embrace the shadows and dive into our own personal shadow work and the powerful energy that we can work with while doing this on and around the black moon. But first, some things I did over the weekend in my own personal practice. Oh my gosh, it's been a whirlwind of activity, as I'm sure it is in your household too right now. My boys came home last week and we've been having so much fun together. Even snuck out real quick for a 2-day spree at Disneyland. And let me tell you, I loved taking them there when they were little. But being an adult at Disneyland is super fun too. It's a whole different level of experiencing the two parks, and it's just as magical, but with a little bit more relaxed theme. And oh my God, it's just super fun. The big project the boys took on this past weekend was creating a new fire pit area for me. And to say a project is really minimizing it. They mapped out a big circle of about, maybe 4 to 5 feet in circumference, maybe 6, and a circle, a dugout in super rocky soil about 2 feet deep. It was a lot, you guys. It was a lot of digging that took about, 5 hours to complete. But once done, a metal circle, it's something that's specifically designed for fire pits, was inserted in the center and then backfilled a little around it, with the dug up dirt just to kind of secure it into place. This project was so much more than digging and stacking. You guys, it was about crafting a space for connection, reflection, and a little bit of magic under the stars. Now, Taylor, my older son, has had many encounters with ladybugs over this past summer and into the fall. Enough so that we honestly did some research to learn more about them as a sign. They are about good luck, transformation, and growth. They are about protection, love, and joy, even guidance and divine connection. Now, for deity connection, it will depend on what area gods and goddesses you work with, but the boys and I are heavily tied to the Norse deities, and their ladybugs are a sign from Freya. Anyhow, back to the fire pit. Hunter and I zipped out to do a much needed grocery run while Taylor worked on the final stages of the rocks and the pebbles around the circle. And as we were out, we got a text message from Taylor with a picture. A ladybug with no spots had landed on his hand while working. It was perfect. The fire pit has already kind of this really cool Norse theme to it with, pillows of the Yggdrasil tree, the serpent that circles around it and rune symbols. There's a throw blanket with all of these, same images too. But, I was going for that very mountain, evergreen Norse feeling to the fire pit area. So the fact that Freya sent Taylor a sign while building it, oh my gosh, you guys, for me, that is just perfect. Okay, so this is a new spot, right? This is a new purchase that I did back in early summer. So I don't have a living room with a hearth. I don't have a home with a fireplace. So this outside fire pit, it is really going to be a focal point for me. And if you like working with the element of fire as much as I do, I encourage you to make a space, like this too, if you can. It does not need to be huge like the one that we just did. It can be a little portable fire pit. It can be a tabletop fireplace, right? Those small little ones. But something that creates the space for fire. I think it is absolutely magical. So real quick, fire pits have definitely been a gathering place for people, I think, throughout history, right? Going back to huge bonfires with our ancestors, to the small little single fire pits for our more modern spaces. I honestly believe no matter what the size though, they offer a warm, inviting space that is naturally going to bring people together. The glow of a fire pit creates a cozy atmosphere that just draws people closer to, to share its warmth. The physical comfort definitely encourages relaxation and openness, making it really easy, I think, for conversations just to flow naturally. The fire itself acts as a mesmerizing focal point. I think, for me, definitely watching the flames dance just provides that shared experience that helps break the ice and promotes togetherness without the need for constant conversation. I think fire pits evoke the age old tradition of storytelling around a fire, whether it's sharing tales, maybe it's reminiscing about memories, or dreaming about the future. This communal activity strengthens bonds and fosters a sense of community. For many people, fire pits are going to hold spiritual significance. They can be used for rituals, for ceremonies, or honestly, simply just a space to set our intentions. They provide a sense of unity either way and a purpose among participants. Cooking over a fire pit. You guys, we bought a little piece. We have not installed it yet, but we got one of those arms that, metal arms that sticks into the ground and has, the base that kind of rotates over the fire. I cannot wait. That has not gone in yet, but cooking over a fire pit, whether we're roasting marshmallows, actually grilling, making campfire meals, it encourages collaboration and sharing, right? Food has always been a powerful connector, and I think fire pits just amplify this through their communal preparation. I personally like the simplicity of sitting around a fire and how it creates opportunities for deep, meaningful conversations. The ambient environment slows down the pace of life, inviting us to reflect, connect, and listen to each other. And fire pits, I honestly do think they appeal to all generations, right? Kids are enchanted by roasting marshmallows or telling spooky stories, while adults can enjoy the ambiance, the warmth, and the chance to unwind. I think they symbolize connection, first and foremost, all the way through. The circle of a fire pit reflects on the idea of equality and inclusion, where everyone has a place and can share equally in the warmth and the light. Now, I think the allure of a fire pit often encourages people to set aside technology. It's a hard one. I am so addicted to my phone and the social media side of things, but it allows us to be fully present with one another. This creates a rare opportunity in today's world just to connect on a deeper level. Whether it's a family gathering, it's a celebration with friends, or honestly, just a moment of private quiet under the stars, like I love to have so much, fire pits can bring people together in a primal, comforting way, making them a powerful tool for connection and community. So, from the effort it took to shape the circle to the sweat and care my boys put into every step, our new space, gosh, it symbolizes the power of shared energy and intention. Whether we're roasting marshmallows again, telling those stories, whatever we're doing, or if we're just sitting quietly by the fire, I know this space will become a heart centered part of our family life. And it was made for our Yule 2024 celebration. All right, speaking of Yule, I am actually recording this episode on Saturday, the 21st. I was going to do it yesterday while the boys were working in the backyard, but I was not in the recording space. That makes sense. So I really wanted to be a part of what they were doing back there and, their energy and just the collective vibes of the day. I will say the boys had one of their best friends over last night and all of their hard work was done and completed. The fire pit was like ready to go. So this kid, I definitely consider to be one of my boys too. I love him just as much as they do. So they all opened some beers and tested out the fire pit. And oh my gosh, you guys, like it's amazing. It is just amazing. But I wanted to share something really cool that actually happened this morning. So when the boys woke and each got their morning coffee, mind you, I was already on cup number 3, but we did like a happy Yule toast with our morning caffeine hit. I proceeded to head into the kitchen and make them a big Yule breakfast. Each got bacon, eggs, hash browns, and toast with a little side of fresh pineapple. So as I was breaking the eggs in the bacon soaked pan, of course, right? One egg had 2 yolks. Now, originally I was just going to make breakfast for the boys, right? But that egg that single egg with a double yolk called my name. So I instantly thought about the full moon that we just had and how it was a Gemini moon. So the December moon is a cold moon, and if you honestly ever want the really easy way out to remember what sign the full moon is ever in, well, the new moon is always going to be in the sign of whatever is current. So like whatever sign we are currently in when that new moon happens. The full moon is going to be the sign exactly opposite. So for December, the new moon that happened early in the month was the Sagittarius new moon, right? Because that is the sign that we're currently in. So that was the astrological sign. The full moon was happening in the sign of Sagittarius, right? So exactly opposite of Sagittarius is Gemini. Anyways, if you're ever wondering what sign the full moon is in, and it's giving the energy to, just look back 6 months and you will have it. So in astrology, a full moon in Gemini emphasizes themes of communication, curiosity, and adaptability. It's a time when our mental energies are heightened, encouraging reflection on, how we share information and connect with others. This particular full moon that we just had also coincided with the end of our Mercury retrograde, further influencing communication dynamics. So the December full moon is traditionally, historically known as the cold moon, signaling the onset of winter and the year's longest nights. So to break open an egg, and I might be reading way too much into this, but you guys, I don't know, it meant something to me, so I'm just going with it. But to break open an egg with two yolks, like the dual light and dark, right? A nod to balancing our polarities. The inner and outer world, bridging our internal thoughts and our external actions. The masculine and the feminine, reflecting harmony between opposing forces. The dual perspectives, right? Gemini can see both sides of an argument or situation. The like versatility, right? Geminis often have many interests and skills, and the contradictions. They may feel pulled in different directions, reflecting the duality of their nature. So this happens to be my moon sign. I have a Cancer sun, but I have a Gemini moon. And you know what? Like, this was my breakfast egg. This was exactly how I was supposed to start off my 2024 Yule. And honestly, you guys, it made my frickin' day. Well, it made my morning at least. I have so much going on today with it being Yule, but it made my morning. So I have a full belly. I have lots of caffeine in me, and I'm ready to record today's podcast. Now, I have invited some people over for Yule tonight, to join us around the fire pit. We have lots of mead that we are going to be using as a toast to the winter solstice. And yesterday I dried a bunch of orange slices. I bought some cranberries and I have a good amount of cinnamon sticks. So I'm going to have the crafting supplies out at the fire pit so whomever wants to can make some Yule garlands tonight. I also made my family's nibble recipe. It's that standard Chex Mix recipe that is so yummy to snack on. So I'm going to have that tonight outside by the fire pit as well. I can't wait. So even if it's just me and the boys, I have that special Yule candle that I created a couple weeks ago that has the 3 wicks, which each of us will light tonight to start off the evening celebration. I don't know if I should share this. We are doing something else when it's just the 3 of us before everybody comes over. I have not done this before, but we all 3 collectively agreed it is what we want to do. So that's going to be performing a sacred blood ceremony. Now, I do want to think this through carefully before doing it. I know blood has long been regarded as a potent symbol of life force, vitality, and spiritual essence in our magical traditions. So sharing blood in a ritual context is going to signify a profound merging of energies. Now, the boys and I are so closely tied already, but I do think this will further our bond, creating a sacred and even more unbreakable bond between us. Now, if this is something you have done or possibly are considering, I'm going to share some of my notes. I totally understand if this is not for you. I do not believe this is for everyone. I'm going to list out like some general steps, not the exact ones that we are doing tonight, just because this is so personal for me and my boys. But in general, if this is something that you want to do. The ceremony typically is going to begin with setting a clear intention. This could be a vow of loyalty, a pact for protection, or just the sealing of a shared commitment. Right? The space is consecrated, often with elements like fire, which is definitely what we're going to be using with the fire pit, herbs, sacred symbols, something to ensure safety and purity. Each participant makes a small, deliberate cut in their hand, typically, doesn't have to be, but typically along the palm or like a similar symbolic area. So this action is performed with reverence and respect, often using a consecrated blade or ritual tool. So the sharing portion of it is going to be when the participants press their hands together, allowing their blood to mingle. So this act signifies the joining of their energy, their lives, and their intentions. Often, I'm sure you guys have heard like blood brothers, right? It's the union. It's some type of union that is going to be viewed as an unbreakable spiritual bond. So the mingling of the blood is going to represent like that shared essence, creating a spiritual connection that transcends the physical realm. The act solidifies mutual goals, oaths, and protective paths, and the participants are usually going to commit their life force to a shared purpose. I don't know if you guys can hear my crows chiming in. Perfect timing. Oh my gosh. Now, blood also ties some ancestry or lineage together too, right? Invoking familiar or, gosh, honestly, even tribal energies. For me and the boys, this is going to directly tap into our Viking line, our Norse ancestry. And then the practical sense of it, while symbolically powerful for sure, I think we need to be practical with our safety and ethical considerations, right? All participants must fully understand and agree to the ritual. The blade and the surrounding area, we're going to want those sterilized, right, to prevent infection or disease or anything like that. And the cuts should be shallow and controlled, performed with minimal harm. Now, while the blood sharing ritual is rich in tradition and symbolism, I think modern practitioners often can opt for symbolic alternatives. If this is not for you, you can use a drop of red wine, paint. You can use herbs to mimic the effect of blood without physical harm. So these substitutions, I definitely think, carry maybe not the exact same weight, but it mimics it without the risk. So I am super excited there just to do so many things for Yule tonight, but this is a big step that the boys and I are going to be taking just to christen the fire pit for Yule and take one of our Yule coals from 2023 that was taken from the 2022 Yule fire and start tonight's ritual and ceremony. And then, of course, invite our friends and guests to join us afterwards. So anyways, back to, that was a little tangent, sorry. Back to our podcast and our theme. Everything's slowing down right now. The year is drawing to a close, and I think our world just is naturally slowing down. The days are shorter, the nights are longer, and there's a stillness that is just settling in. It invites us to pause and reflect. It is a time when I think we instinctually begin to take stock of what has passed, our triumphs, our challenges, and the moments, all the moments in between. So while this period is often focused on resolutions for many people, and forward momentum, I believe the final weeks of the calendar year also offers a powerful opportunity for shadow work. And personally, it is how I like to wind things down. So shadow work is the practice of exploring the hidden, often darker aspects of ourselves. It's about our fears, doubts, and our unresolved emotions that we tend to bury throughout the busyness of life. By facing these parts of ourselves with courage, with compassion, we not only gain insight into our own behavior and patterns, but we also create a space for authentic transformation. There is no better time, I think, for this introspection than the quiet, contemplative weeks before the new year begins. Now, incorporating shadow work into this specific time allows us to honor the cyclical nature of life. Like just as nature withdraws and regenerates during the winter, we too can retreat inward, shedding the emotional clutter that no longer serves us. This process can feel uncomfortable for sure, but it is in this actual discomfort that growth is born. By shining a light on the shadow within us, we can heal and release the weight that we've carried, clearing the way for new beginnings. The power of shadow work at the year's end lies in its ability to provide closure. Rather than ignoring or suppressing our struggles, we actively engage with them, offering ourselves the gift of understanding and self acceptance. This work, you guys, it not only helps us process the year that has passed, but it also sets strong, grounded foundations for the year to come. So then, we begin January not with superficial resolutions, but with an authentic connection to who we are and what we truly need. So this does happen to walk us right into next week's episode. So I will absolutely be taking the energy that we are working on today to help us start the new year. So as the calendar turns and the new year begins, shadow work reminds us that transformation does not come from ignoring the darkness, but from embracing it. In doing so, we step forward, not as fragmented pieces of ourselves, right, but as whole beings, ready to greet the new year with clarity, strength, and intention. Now, the powerful black moon will help guide us with this energy, and it really does help us end the year perfectly. Now, before I jump into today's episode, I want to take a moment to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Your presence, support, and energy really have made this journey magical, and I am deeply grateful for every listen, every share, and every kind word you've offered throughout the year. You are the heart of this podcast, and I am honored to walk this path with you. Don't forget to share the episode with someone who might need a little shadow magic today. And we can embrace this sacred time together and, the work that we are doing that helps us grow together. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, a soothing tea, or, perhaps something a little magical to sip on, like one of the waning or dark moon cocktails that we made in last week's episode. But settle into your coziest spot, light a candle if it feels right, or even sit by your own personal fire pit, fireplace, or hearth, and let this be a time to reflect and connect. This episode is all about diving deep. Together, we are going to explore how these energies can guide us in releasing what no longer serves us and help us step into the new year with clarity and intention. It's a journey into the depths of ourselves. It's raw, real, and empowering. All right, my friends, as we approach the end of yet another year, there is a powerful cosmic event waiting for us, and it's called a black moon. This is a rare phenomenon where the second new moon occurs within a single calendar month. It is a celestial moment steeped in mystery, magic, and potent energy. While the world around us might, seem to rush towards the new year with celebration and external resolutions, the black moon calls us inward. Really, it says, hold on, wait. Please pause, reflect, and dive into the uncharted depths of our souls, into the shadowy corners that we often leave unexplored. This is where shadow work finds its perfect companion. Now, the black moon is a time of profound introspection. Unlike the brightness of the full moon, which often highlights clarity and outward manifestation, the black moon immerses us in darkness, a symbolic void, if you will. And it is in this void that our possibilities and potential lies. The invitation is there to release what no longer serves us. It is a moment to confront hidden truths and begin anew, not by covering up our wounds with, fresh resolutions, but by embracing and healing them. For us, witches, seekers, and spiritual explorers, the black moon is the ultimate reset button. It is a liminal space where transformation begins. The fact that we are getting this amazing moment right at the end of December, right at the end of our calendar year, let's go. Let's frickin' do it. Let's jump in feet first and celebrate this special black moon with some magical shadow work. All right, shadow work. Much like the energy of the black moon, it's about going inward. It is the practice of facing the parts of ourselves that we often hide. It's our fears, insecurities, our patterns of behavior that we would rather ignore. These aspects of our shadows hold tremendous power. When left unchecked, they can unconsciously control our actions. We know that. It is those hidden things that we ignore that shape our relationships and block our personal growth. However, when we acknowledge and integrate them, we step into greater wholeness and authenticity. So think of the black moon as a cosmic mirror, reflecting our inner worlds back to us. Its darkness doesn't just conceal, it reveals. In the absence of external light, we are left with the light of our own awareness to guide us. This alignment with shadow work, I think, is profound. Both the black moon and shadow work invite us to step into the discomfort of stillness and, to examine the baggage. That's that damn baggage that we've carried throughout the year. And then you know what? It helps us make some courageous decisions to move forward and let it go. Now, as we prepare to cross the threshold into a new year, many of us feel a sense of, that urgency to plan, to resolve, and to strive. I'm not going to say those are wrong. I'm certainly not going to say they're bad, but if we can just take a quick pause, the black moon offers a different kind of preparation, one rooted in release rather than accumulation. So before we can fully embrace the new, I think it's amazing if we can make space to shed the old. This isn't a superficial cleansing, but a deep reckoning within ourselves. Shadow work during the black moon becomes a sacred act of self-exploration and healing. It asks, what truths have we buried? What parts of ourselves are we ready to reclaim? And most importantly, what do we need to let go of in order to grow? So in this liminal space, we are not alone, you guys, right? The energy of the black moon holds us in its quiet embrace, reminding us that the void is not something to fear, but something to honor. It is a fertile ground for transformation, a place where, our shadows can be met with compassion rather than judgment. So together, we can use this time to reflect on the lessons of the past year, to acknowledge the pain that we've endured, and, the strength that we've discovered. And then to release the patterns that no longer align with our highest selves. And as we stand at the edge of the calendar year right now, let us embrace a black moon. I think it's an opportunity for profound renewal. We can commit to the hard but rewarding work of facing our shadows, not as enemies, but as teachers. Together, we can honor this sacred time as a moment to clear the slate, to heal and to prepare, not just for a new year, but for a truer, more empowered version of ourselves. Okay, let's look at the black moon and the magical practices that can go with it. It really is a very unique energy. In the large tapestry of lunar magic, I think few events are as intriguing and as powerful as the black moon. This rare occurrence, again, that's a second new moon in a single calendar month, brings with it an energy that is as mysterious as it is transformative. Now, for witches, spiritual seekers, energy workers, I think the black moon is not just a celestial phenomenon. It really is a sacred invitation. It calls us to engage with the liminal and to explore those spaces between endings and beginnings. And harness the power of the unseen. So the black moon's energy really is, I think, steeped in themes of the void. When we think of the moon, we are really going to associate it, or most of us are going to associate it with the light, right? Whether it's a soft glow of the waxing crescent, maybe it's the full brilliance of the full moon. But a black moon, gosh, it really is surrounded by darkness. It offers no illumination, no reflection, only the deep, infinite potential of the unknown. So this void is not a place of emptiness, but really that fertile possibility ground. It is a womb of creation where your ideas can germinate, intentions can take root, and the seeds of your transformation are planted. Now, in magical practices, I think the black moon is a powerful time for quiet magic. It's a phase for spells of release and renewal, for working in the unseen realms, and for connecting with the hidden parts of ourselves and the universe. Its energy is particularly aligned with shadow work, the practice of confronting, integrating, and healing the parts of ourselves that we keep hidden. The black moon encourages us to step into the void, to face our fears, and to trust in the transformative power of the darkness. It whispers, gently whispers to us that within the shadows lie our greatest potential. Now, historically and in our folklore, the black moon has been regarded with a mix of like awe and trepidation. Some traditions saw it as a time when the veil between the worlds was unusually thin, not like Samhain thin or like a lunar eclipse thin. This liminal quality made it favored for, a time of divination, spirit communication, and deep magical workings. Now, in some witchy circles, the black moon was called the witch's moon because of its association with, the hidden knowledge and the power to manifest profound change. In many cultures, darkness has been misunderstood as something to be feared, right? Like that void to be filled with light or noise. But for witches, darkness of the black moon is more of a sacred space. It's that pause between our breath, the stillness before action, and that little moment of pure potential before manifestation. This aligns seamlessly with the essence of shadow work. Both invite us to confront what is unseen and to embrace the parts of ourselves and our lives that others might overlook, or that we certainly might avoid. Now, the black moon's significance in magical practices also ties to its rarity. Because it does not occur every year, it carries a heightened energy, that sense of urgency to act and transform. It reminds us that opportunities to fully reset and renew are precious, right? They should not be taken lightly. This is a time to release the old stories, those old stupid ass stories that we tell ourselves, the patterns that hold us back, and the fears that keep us small. In their place, we can plant intentions not born out of obligation, right? But a deep, authentic desire to grow. Now, one particularly fascinating bit of folklore about the black moon is its association with hidden potential. So some believed that spells cast during the black moon would have a delayed but intensified effect, kind of unfolding their power slowly, right? Like a seed growing underground before breaking the soil. This belief echoes the themes of the void and of shadow work, honestly, that, the most transformative work happens or often happens in the quiet, unseen spaces of our lives. So as we prepare for the black moon, I'm hoping that we all can just remember its unique energy and how it can guide our magical practices. It really is a time to embrace beginnings born of endings, to trust in the unseen forces at work within and around us. And you know what? To allow ourselves the grace, the beautiful grace to grow in the shadows. This is not a time, you guys, for haste or for surface level resolutions. It really is a moment to, sit in the stillness of the void and recognize the vastness of our potential. So together, let's honor the black moon not just as a celestial event, but as a sacred teacher guiding us deeper into the magic of who we are and who we are becoming. So it's a journey. This phase of our beautiful moon connected with shadow work is truly going to be a journey. It is a sacred act of self exploration, healing, and integration. It's the process of uncovering the parts of ourselves that we often keep hidden, right? Those fears, those insecurities, those patterns, and those wounds that shape our lives from behind the scenes. All right, now during the black moon, when the energy of the cosmos invites us into the void, we are gifted with a powerful opportunity to begin or deepen this transformative practice. This work is not easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all, but it is and it can be profoundly rewarding. The black moon creates a sacred space for us to engage with our shadows in a way that is both intentional and supported. It reminds us, I really do think it reminds us that growth doesn't come from avoiding discomfort, but from facing it with courage and compassion. I know I'm giving you guys a lot here. I'm really, really winding you up, but it's only because I am so convinced and excited to work in this area this weekend myself. So, quick disclosure here before we dive even deeper on the steps that we can actually take. I want to share just an important reminder, right? While shadow work can be a powerful tool for self discovery and healing, I am not a therapist. I am not a mental health professional. If you find that this work brings up feelings or experiences that feel overwhelming, please know that it's okay and often necessary to seek support from a qualified professional. Therapists, counselors, mental health experts, they are amazing allies in this journey of ours, and they can provide guidance and tools that go beyond what we explore here. So please just remember, right? Taking care of yourself is the most important part of this process. All right, with that said, got us all buzzed up. Let's explore some practical tools and rituals for diving into this work and nurturing ourselves along the way. So, I have four pretty good ideas of how we can begin this type of work. First one is journal prompts for shadow work. Second one is kind of like a ritual idea for the dark moon that's coming up. Third is a visualization exercise. And then fourth is creating a boundary during shadow work and absolutely looking at our own self care. Well, let's do journal prompts first. Journaling is definitely one of the most accessible and powerful tools for our shadow work. It allows us to safely explore our thoughts and emotions, bringing the hidden into the light. Now, the black moon's energy enhances this practice, offering clarity for us, offering insight, all as we write and work with our journal prompts. Find ones that work for you, but I've got some general suggestions. First one, what am I afraid to face within myself and why? Second, what patterns or behaviors am I holding on to that no longer serve me? Third, what stories do I tell myself about who I am? Are they true? Fourth, what part of my past still holds power over me and what can I do to release it? And fifth, what do I hide from others? And what would it mean to embrace that part of myself? You guys write without judgment when you're answering these questions. Let your words flow freely, knowing that this is a sacred conversation with yourself. All right, second idea is a nice little ritual that we can do with the black moon. I think rituals can anchor our shadow work, giving it structure and intention. And the black moon, oh my goodness, you guys, this is an ideal time for quiet, reflective rituals that honor the void and the potential it holds. Back to my fire, candle, whatever form you're going to do it in. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Light a single black or white candle to represent the black moon. Sit in stillness and focus on the flame. As you gaze into it, reflect on the shadow aspect of yourself that you are ready to face. When you feel ready, speak your intention aloud. You say something, I acknowledge this part of myself with compassion and I am open to transformation. Spend a few minutes in quiet meditation. Right? Imagine the flame burning away any shame or fear associated with the shadow. I think this would be perfect to do after you have done those journal prompts. Doesn't have to be all the journal prompts. Pick one, pick two, do them all, whatever works for you, or have your own journal prompts, something that you're working on. After you've taken those steps and really been honest with yourself, grab that quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Light the candle, start your fire pit, do something with a flame. Sit in stillness and just focus on the flame. And then as you gaze into it, just reflect. What are you ready to face? And say something. Say something that you acknowledge this part, right? You wrote it down, you've worked on it. I see it. I see me. And with compassion, I am open to transformation. Write down fears, regrets, patterns that you want to release on a small slip of paper. Take them outside under the night sky and bury them in the earth. Or, if you are working with the flames, burn them. As you bury or burn each slip, say something. Talk about releasing, right? Releasing this with love and trust the earth to transform it into something new. Trust the element of fire to let it go. Close the ritual with gratitude for the support of the black moon and the natural world. All right, another thing to do would be some type of visualization exercise to complement your shadow work. I think visualizing things can help us meet and integrate our shadow selves in a safe and controlled way. It really does allow us to bring, our subconscious into dialogue with our conscious mind. So if you can, just meet your shadow self. Begin by sitting in a comfortable position with your eyes closed. Take several deep breaths to center yourself. Imagine yourself standing in a forest at twilight, right? In the distance, you see a figure approaching. As they come closer, you realize this is your shadow self, an aspect of you that you've kept hidden. Observe them without fear or judgment. What do they look like? How do they feel? When you are ready, ask them, what do you need me to know? How can I honor you? And be open, listen to their response. When your conversation feels complete, thank them and imagine them merging with you, becoming a part of your whole self. This is an exercise I plan on doing with the black moon. I really want to be compassionate and integrate the dark side of me. Right, the fourth one is creating some amazing self-care and boundaries in our shadow work exercises. Shadow work is deeply emotional. We know it is, and it can bring up intense feelings. I think it is essential to approach this practice with care and compassion for yourself. So spend time grounding, first and foremost. Go outdoors, place your hands or your feet on the actual earth, or use grounding crystals like hematite or black tourmaline. Rest. Allow yourself extra time to sleep or simply be still. Shadow work can be draining, and rest is crucial for integration. And then be a little creative if you can, right? Channel your emotions into art or music or some type of movement. Creative expression can help you process feelings in a non-verbal way. And then for setting boundaries, time limits are probably going to be best to start with, right? Set some type of specific times for shadow work and give yourself permission to stop when you've had enough. Share your experiences with a trusted friend if you can, with a therapist or a spiritual guide if needed. And then use some type of like smudging, maybe salt baths, some type of protective visualization if you need to. But we need to cleanse and reset our energy after any type of intense session. And remember, you don't have to do everything all at once. Shadow work is a lifelong journey, not a quick single task to complete before the new year begins. While the upcoming black moon provides a powerful starting point for sure, right? we have an amazing opportunity here. Deepening of this type of work is not just a one and done. It is a one-step process along a long path. So as we navigate the transformative energy of the black moon together, I really hope we all get to honor the courage, the honest courage it takes to face our shadows and the strength that we can gain from integrating them. I think through journaling, through the rituals, through visualization steps, and then our own self-care, we can really step into the greater wholeness and authenticity, ready to embrace the new year with clarity and intention. This is a sacred process, and it is one that we can walk together, supported by the collective wisdom of the moon and the magic of the void. Switching gears to more specifically like black moon stuff, this type of energy is just uniquely suited for magic that focuses on endings, beginnings, and the transformative power of the void. So during this time, we are offered the amazing, rare opportunity to release what no longer serves us and set intentions for new growth, all while grounding ourselves in the stillness of this potent lunar phase. So, again, whether it's through that ritual, spell work, maybe crafting some magical elixirs, the black moon encourages us to lean into its energy with both reverence and creativity. So, what is the black moon good for energy wise? First, it's going to be great for any type of ritual about letting go. The black moon's darkness offers us the really good, perfect space to release the burdens that we've been carrying by consciously letting go of old patterns and fears, of old relationships that no longer serve us. We create room for growth. So, burning paper ritual is a great one during a black moon. Write down everything you want to release, the negative habits, the limiting beliefs, the unresolved emotions. Write it all down on small slips of paper. If you have a candle and then a fire safe bowl, if you have an outdoor fire pit, if you have an indoor fireplace, light each piece of paper one by one, and as it burns, say something about, like, I release this with love and gratitude. I am free to move forward. Visualize the smoke carrying these burdens away, leaving you lighter and more at peace. I mentioned bearing. That's a good option too. So collect items or symbols of what you wish to release, right? This could be a photograph. This could be a trinket, even a handwritten note describing what you are letting go of. Find a quiet place outdoors and bury the items in the earth. Again, saying something, right? I return this to the earth to be transformed. Thank you for the lessons. I release you with love. Then cover the burial site with soil, visualizing the earth absorbing and neutralizing the old energy. Let's see, the black moon is a great time for intention setting on new growth. Once you have released the old, the black moon is a powerful time to plant seeds of intention for the future. Think of this phase as like the fertile void, right? It's ready to nurture your desires and your goals. So first, seed planting ritual. I would write your intentions for the new year or, the next phase of your life on small pieces of paper that are biodegradable if you can. Right? Roll each intention into a small bundle and bury it along with seeds or a small plant. As you plant, say something. But, as the seed grows, so too does my intention take root and thrive. And then care for your plant or your seeds as a physical reminder of the intentions you've set. I would do some black moon candle magic here. I love the act of carving our intentions into a black or white candle. You can use a toothpick, you can use a small knife, you can use one of your tools. If you prefer, write them on a piece of paper and place the candle on top of the folded note. But light the candle. Focus your intention as you say something like, under the black moon's guidance, I nurture these intentions with patience and trust. And then allow the candle to fully burn out. If you have to extinguish it, that's okay, but you could relight it on a subsequent black moon, maybe, if you have to put it out. Best case scenario, allow the candle to fully burn. Let's see, what else could we do? Oh, grounding practices, right? Protective and grounding practices. Shadow work and black moon magic can be emotionally intense, right? If you are doing the down and dirty hard work, you are going to be drained. You're going to be emotionally. So protective and grounding practices really are going to be essential to stabilize your energy and create a safe container, for your work. I like salt protection circles, some space that you can find that's private. Just create a small circle around yourself or even your ritual space, right? Using black salt or black tourmaline stones. Before you begin any ritual or spell, say something like, this circle of protection shields and grounds me as I work with the magic of the black moon. Visualize the circle glowing with that protective energy that's keeping you centered and safe. Another great way to do some protective and grounding practices are just connecting with the earth, though. I think after completing any type of shadow work or spell, whenever we're doing it, doesn't have to be during a black moon, sit with your hands placed firmly on the ground, or even you're touching a plant, right? Imagine roots extending from your hands and your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you in its stability. Again, say something. I release any lingering energy into the earth, grounding myself in its strength and balance. Right. And then finally, to kind of wrap up all of the work that definitely I'm going to be doing, but the work that you can be doing on the Black Moon, I think creating like a Black Moon elixir recipe would just wrap it all up so perfectly. You guys know how I feel about May 1st and the magical, magical dewdrops of Beltane. Creating that spring elixir for me is honestly something I budget year after year. But here, we really do have another very magical elixir moment. So a tea or some type of elixir really can complement and help close out our Black Moon work. I think this is going to help us align our energy with the themes that we're working on, release, renewal, and grounding, and just bring us back to that center. For this one, I like mugwort for clarity and intuition. I like chamomile for, the calming and grounding energies. And then I like just a little pinch of cinnamon, something for warmth and transformation. I would combine the mugwort, a teaspoon of mugwort, teaspoon of chamomile, and then that pinch of cinnamon in a teapot or some type of heat-proof container. Add a cup of boiling water and then let it sit there for me. I usually do like 7 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes I think is pretty average. But pour it over the boiling water and just let it sit. If you want to add in a small piece of obsidian, maybe black tourmaline, I would have it just sitting next to your cup or next to the teapot as it steeps. Something that kind of infuses everything together with that protective energy. And then strain, drink mindfully, and focus, on your intentions for release and renewal. As you sip, visualize the tea cleansing your body and soul, helping you just release energy, release old energy, and ground into the present moment. I really do think that's a beautiful way just to kind of wrap up any work that you will be doing. There is no doubt the Black Moon offers us a powerful opportunity to align with its transformative energy, creating space for release, renewal, and grounding. By engaging with these practices, I think we can deepen our connection to the moon's magic. We can definitely deepen our connection to our inner selves and the limitless potential of the void. So I'm hoping we all can approach this, sacred time with reverence, with a little bit of curiosity, and honestly trust that even in the darkest moments, we are planting the seeds of new beginnings. We all know the saying, something has to end, a door has to close for a new one to open. We've got to trust the process of working on releasing what no longer serves us is going to open the door to where we're supposed to be, where we're supposed to be moving forward to and growing into. So as we stand on the threshold of a new year, oh my gosh, 2025, like it is right around the corner. The energy of the Black Moon is going to remind us of an essential truth. Endings and beginnings are deeply intertwined. The journey we, can take through shadow work and reflection during this lunar phase can be one of courage and transformation. We really can explore the depths of the unseen and release the weight, that heavy, heavy weight of old fears and patterns, and plant the seeds for a more intentional and authentic future. Ending the year with self-awareness and acceptance is one of the most profound gifts we can give ourselves. dark moon or not, when we take the time to acknowledge who we are, our strengths, our shadows, and everything in between, we step into a place of wholeness. This self-awareness is not about perfection. It is about presence. It's about, like understanding our journey, embracing the lessons that we've learned. And you know what? Forgiving ourselves for the moments that we have stumbled. It's about saying, I am enough, just as I am. Acceptance does not mean settling or staying stagnant. Instead, I think it creates the foundation for true growth. By accepting ourselves as we are, we open the door to becoming who we are meant to be. And the Black Moon's energy, you guys, oh my gosh, it gives us the tools to clear the slate, to release the burdens that we no longer wish to carry. Now, as the new year approaches, we can step forward then, lighter, freer, and more aligned with our truest selves. So as you look ahead to 2025, oh my gosh, I encourage you to approach this new chapter with intention and authenticity. Instead of settling resolutions that feel forced or externally driven, think about what truly matters to you. What brings you joy? What nurtures your soul? Ask yourself the question, what feels aligned with the person you are becoming? Let these questions guide you as you create a vision for the year ahead. Now, to help you carry this energy into 2025, here is a journal prompt to reflect on as the year begins. What does it look like and feel like to live as my most authentic self? What steps can I take this year to honor that version of me? So I don't know if I can call this a spoiler alert, but next week's episode is going to have this very theme within it when I talk about creating our goals for 2025. I do it as my first episode of the year, and I want to continue that first step out of the gate. But I'm going to have a little bit different tone this time, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you. So a little mantra that I think we can carry into 2025, if journaling feels too heavy or you simply want a quick touchstone, here's a mantra to repeat as you move into the new year. I release the past with gratitude and step into the future with trust. I am whole, I am free, and I am enough. All right, as we close this chapter of 2024, I want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me on this journey through shadow work today and the Black Moon, and honestly, just beyond, right? The work we've done this year over the past 12 months, it has been fun. It's been raw sometimes. It's not easy, right? But it's powerful, and I hope you feel the strength of your own transformation. Remember that you are always supported both by the cosmos and by this community here at Witchy Work Wishes that we have created together. So I find myself reflecting on everything we've shared and experienced together over the past 12 months. This space that we've created, like our little corner of connection, our little space of magic and exploration, has really become a source of immense joy and inspiration for me. None of it would be possible without you. So I do have a poem to close out 2024. So please stay with me as I grab that, and I will be right back. All right, well, I started a poem about shadow work, and oh gosh, you guys, it just did not feel right. So even though that was our entire topic for today, that and the Black Moon, if you write poems, you guys know, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? When the words are forced or, they just don't flow, it's just not the right poem to be creating. So I started over. I started one about being thankful for you, my listener, and you know what? The words came pouring out. So this is a different way to end 2024, but it just felt right. So my poem goes. 12 months have passed, and here we stand, with gratitude flowing like grains of sand. This podcast journey, a magical ride, with you as my listeners right by my side. From episodes spun with laughter and care, to moments of wisdom and truths we share. Through moonlight musings and witchy lore, each week we've opened a brand new door. The questions you've asked, the feedback you gave, Your support has been steadfast, steady, and brave. Each like, each share, each heartfelt review has built this space. We've grown. It's true. Together we've honored the wheel of the year, embraced both the joy and the shadowy sphere. From Samhain spells to Yule's bright cheer, your presence has made every moment clear. So thank you, dear listeners, for all that you do, for making this magic both deep and true. Here's to the next 12 months and more as we journey onward, heart to the core. Well, I have talked about the moon's phase this entire episode, so you probably do not need more guidance right now at the closure. But I will say this, just real quick, enjoy. You'll probably feel the energy happening on Saturday the 28th and Sunday the 29th. It does happen before and after. The black moon is actually on Monday the 30th. But please just take care of yourself, right? As we step into the potent energy of the dark moon and dive into shadow work, I just want to remind you to be gentle with yourselves. This is deep. It's transformative work, and it's important to prioritize your safety and your well-being. Create a safe, sacred space for your reflections, and honestly, take breaks when needed. Shadow work can stir up powerful emotions, so be sure to ground yourself, stay hydrated, and reach out for support when it feels overwhelming. Remember, this is a journey of self-discovery. It is not a race. So honor your own personal pace. Hold space for your healing and trust that even in the shadows, you are held by the light within. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for tuning in each week after week, month after month. Thank you for bringing your energy, your curiosity, and your openness to each episode. I am deeply grateful for the ways that you've supported this podcast, honestly, not just by listening, but by engaging with the ideas and sharing your thoughts and spreading the word. Some of you have reached out with your own stories or reflections, and thank you guys. It's been an honor to hear how these episodes have resonated with you. Others have shared the podcast with friends or, joined me over on Patreon. Your generosity just fuels the work that I do. So this has been a year of growth, of change, and deep dives into some powerful topics. Gosh, together we've explored moon phases, magical practices, shadow work, so much more. We've celebrated, we've reflected, we have embraced the sacred messiness of life. Through it all, I've felt your support and energy, and it's carried me forward in ways, oh my gosh, like I've just never even imagined. So as we step into a new year, I want you to know how much you are appreciated, not just as listeners, but as co-creators of this Witchy Work Wishes space. This podcast is a labor of love, and your connection makes it all worthwhile. So I am super excited for what's to come in 2025. There are so many ideas brewing, so much magic to explore, and I cannot wait to continue this journey with you. But for now, I simply want to say thank you. Thank you for being here, for sharing this journey, and for trusting me to be a part of your life. I am wishing you a new year filled with light, love, and a touch of magic. Cheers, my witchy friends. Here is to growth, connection, and the beautiful road ahead. I hope you have an amazing New Year's Eve, and I will talk with you next week on January 1st. Thank you for joining me today at Witchy Work Wishes, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. For more information and additional content, please visit me online at witchyworkwishes.com. If you want to send me a personal note, please email me at info@witchyworkwishes.com. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Just search for Witchy Work Wishes.